I'm gonna stop sharing a minute so I can mute my screen.
All right, there you go.
Hold on. Sorry, I just want to mute my screen so I don't have background noise for you guys. Okay.
Are we good to go?
We're ready when you are.
Okay. Well, welcome. Welcome to Paraprofessionals in Physical Education. I am Lisa Lyle Henry, Adapted Physical Education teacher with the Ohio State School for the Blind. Today we also have Lee Mascarello, Paraprofessional in Adapted Physical Education here at Ohio State School for the Blind. We hope you will be able to get some good information from our presentation today. Please feel free to ask questions. Raise your hand. We can try to answer them, or if you want to put them in the chat box. But at the same time, we would like to, welcome any questions you may have. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started and just kind of go over the basic outline for today's presentation. And so the outline is like, who are paraprofessionals? We have classroom paraprofessionals at OSSB. We have floater paraprofessionals, and we also at OSSB have one-on-ones. Also, we have what's the importance of the paraprofessional? What's the role of the paraprofessional? Strategies to develop a partnership, communication, lesson planning, and also it comes down to providing professional opportunities for the paraprofessional. So that's just the idea, the outline, what we are going to do today. So I'm going to turn this over now to Lee, and he's just going to start talking about who are paraprofessionals.
All right, welcome everybody. Again, my name is Lee, and I'm going to be reading off. I use a CCTV and enlarge the print so I can read this information. So if I ever lose my place, bear with me. I'm legally blind myself. So let's see here. Paraprofessionals work alongside professionals who educate children with disabilities who are in need of support. Paraprofessionals will hold a paraprofessional license from the Ohio Department of Education. So we do have certification. We obviously have to go through CPR and first aid training, etc. We get all that. Crisis prevention. At the beginning of the year, we have all those accreditations. So let's see what else. Who are paraprofessionals? Are individuals who work towards reaching student goals, extremely knowledgeable with the students they interact with, a tremendous asset to the success of a lesson, of course, a lesson unit and program. Let me keep going here. Who are paraprofessionals? Paraprofessionals may have a low salary. Yes, it's, I'm in a good situation because I do work for the state and I've been here a while, but especially one-on-one assistants or paraprofessionals who work for districts often do not have benefits. So that can be really burdensome. So may not have benefits, may have limited training or no training. That has been an issue before, where paraprofessionals, especially from the districts, don't know what they're getting involved in. So it can be an eye-opening experience. We have had paraprofessionals show up in high heels and dresses and whatnot, and it's evident then they don't know quite what they're getting involved in. So Paraprofessionals may not have full disclosure of position prior to acceptance, may have backgrounds outside of education. So that can make it somewhat challenging. Tend to have high turnover rates due to working with challenging students. This is certainly something we have seen through the years. Definitely a high turnover rate. Lisa, this is where you come in, I think.
Right. One other thing is sometimes with the turnover rate, it's not a smooth transition, especially with the one-on-one positions where the student may have it in their IEP that they are to have a one-on-one, but the agency that the school district goes through is unable to provide that one-on-one because the agency is not able to place another teacher for the individual student. So that sometimes gets a little challenging there too, because they are to have one, but the agency is not able to find one in a timely manner. However, I am very happy to say lately we've had a no turnover rate. Well, I should say we only have a few one-on-ones right now, but we've been able to keep the students and teachers with the one-on-ones together for a while. So that's been really good. There's been some really good fits lately, and I'm happy to say. And it talks about now, why are paraprofessionals important? They are essential part of the whole day, of the whole equation. And I will say, like when I first started working here at OSSB, yes, I went through, attained my adapted PE endorsement, wonderful training through Ashland University. However, if it wasn't for Lee and other one-on-ones, especially, and other classroom aides, they very much supported my, my ability in the classroom, educated me on the students, gave me suggestions. I felt very supported coming here. And as time has gone on, absolutely have learned, different things throughout, but especially my first year, it was essential, the support I received from our paraprofessionals. They also have the unique knowledge that students can play in the role of the student of the educational success. And I find that especially true with the one-on-one aides. Those who have been with the student for a period of time feel very comfortable talking to the one-on-one aides, also the classroom aides, but they are able to give me some information, support, ideas that maybe because I see them, we have maybe traditionally a 45-minute period with the students where the other individuals with them for the entire day. So their knowledge is very helpful in the gym. And then it talks about the benefit of this knowledge to further students' academic growth. Go back again, use all our resources and really lean on the paraprofessionals, because what I feel here at OSSB, it's not so much a division between you have your teacher, your paraprofessional, your one-on-one. We work together as a team for the benefit and success of our students. And I really truly feel strongly about that, because we just have wonderful people here, whether they are working at OSSB as an employee or one-on-one coming in from an agency. And so, talking about like building. So next one is with Lee, and it's like talking about building a partnership.
Okay. Building a strong partnership between teacher and paraprofessionals is crucial for a positive classroom environment, and that's super true. Certainly work as a team, like we said. I think certainly treating paraprofessionals with respect and including them in decisions and planning and suggestions is really important. I've always felt really supported by Lisa and Allison, the other adaptive PE teacher. So it's just crucial. I don't know how else to say it. So developing this relationship takes time, open communication, mutual trust, and respect. So for sure, there have been paraprofessionals in the past that haven't felt that way in other classrooms and have felt like they weren't as important and involved. So I've never felt that way in our PE department here at the blind school. And you know, being a blind individual myself, they've asked me for advice and perspective. So let's see what's next here. First step in building a professional relationship is an open dialogue. All individuals have valued statements and opinions. Positive and negative comments are welcomed to improve the educational environment. And you know, some of this is obviously common sense, but it is important for us all to feel valued, and like all of our opinions matter. And again, Lisa and Allison both have always made me feel that way, and I think it's crucial.
I was
And,
just,
yeah.
can I jump in just for example?
Yeah,
Today,
please.
we were going to go outside, but the rain didn't want to cooperate. So Lee and I are just bouncing off ideas. Okay, right on the fly, we had to switch what we were doing. We talked it out and, you know, got the lesson plan switched around real quick. And the kids had a great time. But I just feel like, you know, if something like that comes up, won't hesitate to talk to Lee and share the ideas, and he'll share his ideas right back to make things work for our kids. So
Right. Exactly. Keeping that open communication, asking opinions, and just making them feel a part of the team. I think it's crucial. And I, again, feel that way all the time here at the blind school. Again, don't be afraid to speak when it benefits the students. Again, you know, I in a unique situation here that I also have a visual impairment. So oftentimes Lisa may ask me how a particular game can work or how we can adapt something for the students with visual, obviously all the students have visual impairments, but asking my opinions and my history of dealing with my visual impairment has been beneficial, I believe. Reinforce and support when actions are on target. What actions are on target? Correct actions that are not helpful to the educational process, and corrections are made in a professional manner. So certainly that is helpful.
And I guess I would, with that, I would also just say, like, if someone maybe needed a correction when an action wasn't appropriate, but let's say Miss Lee is addressing the situation. Well, I'm not going to go in there and jump in and say, well, because I'm the teacher, I'll take over. It's not that at all. If he sees an issue, he's going to address it. If I see an issue, I will address it, because we want to make sure our environment is positive, supportive, where every student's able to obtain the best education possible.
Yeah, definitely think that's where the mutual respect comes in, and supportive of each other's corrections or interaction with students. So, and that's across the board. I don't really, when kids are having behaviors, for example, in the hallway, and I come upon either a teacher or a paraprofessional or a one-on-one aide, I almost never, step in. I may give some sort of hand signal if they need my assistance, if something's getting really out of hand or unruly or physical, but I wait for somebody to ask for help. So it's just kind of a mutual, again, respect and open communication, I think is crucial. Have a classroom climate that encourages open communication between all staff members. There it is again. Acknowledge staff members equally. Yep. Staff may be hired by the district or agency. I don't know what that, I'm not sure what that. So again, sometimes people aren't sure what they're getting into. So oftentimes it's up to us to make sure they're prepared for what they're about to encounter. um, make the paraprofessional feel welcomed, provide space to store personal items. Well, these are, again, practical things. We don't have, especially in the gym, we don't have an office, a desk even. So I think it is important oftentimes to make newcomers feel welcome, to give them our experience, to let them know where the bathroom is, etc. Just to feel part of the team. And Lisa does a really good job with that. Showing gratitude for the work and time put forth in class should be expressed on a regular basis. I couldn't agree with that more. Positive encouragement, gratitude, appreciation is something that, may be easy to overlook, but it really goes a long way, and I feel completely supported in my role with the teachers that I interact with. Okay, Lisa.
And also we try to extend that, to the other OSSB teachers that come in with their assigned classes to the gym for PE, and also the one-on-one aides that come along with their assigned students. So, Lee and I believe we have a really good working relationship along with Allison, but we also want to make sure that everyone that comes into the gym to work in physical education with their students feel welcomed, and answer those questions, and that their opinion, what they have to say is valuable and they will be heard. So we want to make people feel like it's okay to talk. It's okay to share their ideas. Exactly. And Doc talks about dynamic communication and conversations between the teacher and paraprofessional should occur daily. And usually first thing in the morning before the students come in, Lee and I really try to catch up a few things on the day. Let's say messages come in, we try to share, make sure each other knows what's going on. Sometimes I shared 2 or 3 times in the same idea. Sorry, Lee. But so sometimes he gets more than he probably needs, but I want to make sure that I'm not leaving anything out. He does the same with me, just so we're on the same page. I'm also very fortunate because Lee is assigned to the PE department, and he's mainly with me and our students, but also he works a little bit with Allison, the other health PE teacher. So sometimes he is in the health room, but he is assigned, thankfully to the physical education department. So again, talk about the conversations, and then trying to avoid the avoidable, make smooth transitions. Again, just every day trying to tell what's going on. If something pops up, try to let them know, because I always I feel bad when I forget to say something and then it catches them off guard. I try very hard not to have that happen. Sometimes it does, but it's something but we have a good communication, and if things kind of get jumbled around, we still smooth it out and move forward. Also, with the communication, some of the things should be included: thoughts and opinions. I also believe, I know we feel it's okay, we can say what we need to say. We encourage others who come in, but other aides, paraprofessionals, but also we also let the students speak their mind too. Sometimes, we need to know what they're thinking, what they're feeling, make sure we're getting the feedback, we're on target, what we're doing. So it's just adults, yes, but we want the whole PE environment, everyone to feel comfortable talking to one another, talking to the adults, so we can get the desired outcome of the class and lesson. So we do, share ideas. And again, sometimes, I have my lesson plans. As we're progressing throughout some of our lessons, ideas pop up. Lee feels really comfortable, hey, let's try this. I'm like, oh, sounds like a good idea. Let's try it. Well, and so just because I have something on paper, yes, we're ready to go, but he feels comfortable sharing with us, with the students, and things we can even add to the lesson. What role each professional will play. And we take a team approach. It's not, I'm the teacher, he's a paraprofessional. It's not that at all. We work as a team to benefit our students that we teach. And then how to best implement the goals in the IEPs. And so that we have goes to equal communication.
Mm-hmm. Allowing for an environment which encourages sharing of ideas and suggestions. Again, so important to feel comfortable to speak your mind, um, and get ideas. And again, Lisa and Allison, and I may have experiences they don't have. Again, I have the visual disability. I've had some different kinds of training in mobility, orientation and mobility instruction in my background. And so oftentimes Lisa will ask for my input or advice or how to hold a cane a certain way and with our blind students. And again, makes me feel a part of the team, makes me feel like a professional and a colleague. So responses of student performances, aids in the development of lessons, for sure, getting feedback about lessons. How did that lesson go? How can we tweak it? How can we adapt it? Again, for example, we were playing shuffleboard last week and we figured out how, we could get the blind students, especially the totally blind students, which is about 15% of the visual impaired community, how we could get them to find the center of the shuffleboard. And Lisa found some cones to put on the side, and we talked about how they could figure out where the middle was. So adapting lesson plans for their particular visual impairments or multiple disabilities is a large group of the kids we work with. What else do we have? Try a variety of teaching styles to best see what works for the team. Yet communal ownership of the class. Yeah, have a set time and place on a regular basis to meet and discuss student progress. So for sure, it's utilizing, I think, any team utilizing our own strengths and weaknesses, our own gifting, our own talents. I'm probably the goofy one. So, I think it's really important. And again, done in our PE department on the regular. Okay, here we go, Lisa.
And I was one thing I'd like to mention, like we have strong school leadership, which I am very grateful for, that encourages these open communication discussions. So I feel very fortunate because of the leadership from top down. It comes down to our classroom, and I think that's another reason why I think we feel so comfortable working with one another, other aides, other paraprofessionals within school, because of our leadership. I mean, I feel comfortable saying that because we do have strong leadership.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, I'm not in there, but I'm like, I'm talking, but it comes there. They set the tone and they support us. And it just encouraged us to work well with one another. But that was just a side note. We have, so communicate lesson plans, and we do discuss what we're doing. We have everything written down. We do have the curriculum and we have outlines of our lesson plans available. So, that way we have it all ready to go. But we just mentioned today with the rain, we kind of like, okay, well, we got to flip flop what we're doing. So we'll talk about also how we can change things in an instant if need be. So it gives us the proper preparation, clarity of expectations. Also, when Lee and I teach, when we're teaching, we both have strengths and weaknesses. Like Lee is a phenomenal basketball teacher, basketball coach. So yes, when we are working together in basketball, a lot of times he may take the lead because he's just that good. But I'll flip flop and say, well, when we swim, if we do water aerobics, Lee's like, you got that one. Right, Lee? So again, we have with our lesson plan, so we really do work together on these. And then also we always try to share, like I said, Lee and I will talk about the lesson plans, but also when the parapros come into the classroom, when the one-on-ones come into the classroom, we want to make sure we share the same information, maybe not as in greater detail, but so they too will have an idea of what the goal is for that daily lesson.
Certainly those paraprofessionals, and especially and including the one-on-one aides, know those kids really well and might come in and give us some information that will help our class. Someone was not feeling well, someone didn't sleep well the night before, et cetera, et cetera. So it helped paints the full picture of how that student might respond to certain lessons that day.
I'd say we appreciate that too, because sometimes if they're not feeling well, you know, hey, if you need to go take a break, go take a break. We won't say anything, but it just allows us our approach to be a little different. So because we know what's going on. We'll talk about, again, going back to, I guess, communication lesson plans can lead to breakout work or stations. And sometimes we can do that. Right now, because we are teaching in pods, our classes are very small. We may only have 4 or 5, no more than like 8 students at a time. So, but traditionally we would be able to work with Allison, the other PE teacher, and have larger groups. And then we would utilize some of these breakouts, or we'll do half and half in the gym. One group's working activity A, the other group B. So that helps. Prior knowledge. So again, the paraprofessionals can plan what is most important to the students they teach. Again, Lee talked about, you know, they know that the one-on-ones especially know the students very well. Sharing that information with us helps us maximize what we're doing in the gym to help be assured that they are receiving their proper education. And then allows for individualizations. And with the paraprofessionals, so sometimes they'll come up with ideas because they know the students so well. So they will give us good ideas with what to do with the students with some of the lessons, you know, that we may not, you know, thought of, but after we, you know, have it shared with us is something we add to our lessons in the future. So I guess the physical activity opportunities.
I guess this section, physical activity opportunities for paraprofessionals. I suppose this is open to all staff, that we can learn, that we can take advantage of some of the equipment in the gymnasium for our own physical activities, for our own exercise. So we can get some ideas on how to incorporate some of the equipment into our lessons, but also for our own physical well-being, on our own emotional support, and we do that pretty well here at the Ohio State School for the Blind. Well, we are allowed to use that. Go ahead. Yeah.
Because a couple things, like we have some nice treadmills in the gym, and I know staff comes in and will use the treadmills. Last year and years prior, some of us would swim at lunchtime on traditional swim days at school, and that's very nice. And hopefully we'll be able to get back to that next year as well. So being able just to utilize what the school has to offer. And I know that some people have used our track as well, just to, you know, get a few laps in after school or even before school, depending on the time of the year.
That's right. And so, of course, common sense says when the paraprofessional or any staff feels healthy, they pass that on to the students. That vibe is felt by all the students. If we are working on our own personal health, I think that really does rub off to the students. We talk about walking, doing laps. We talk about our steps, counting our steps. We talk about that with the students a lot and help get them motivated and encouraged to continue their physical activities. So I think that's really helpful.
Yeah, we're not asking them to do something that we're not doing ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're not sitting on the bleachers like, go do a couple laps. No, we're right there with them.
Yeah, that's right. And honestly, that has been, you know, there have been times, I guess that's most of our information there. You know, there have been times when a paraprofessional hasn't, especially a one-on-one aide, didn't know that they were really supposed to engage during PE in the gym, and they have sat on the bleachers. They thought that was kind of their break time, and working on how both of us have had to address people in that situation in a supportive way, but to remind the paraprofessionals that this is really part of their, and I get it, sometimes they maybe in other schools, they have used that time as kind of their somewhat break time when they go to PE, but not with our students. So we've had to gently remind people before that they need to participate in the activities. Again, students pick up on their cooperation and involvement in the activities. So that's mainly the information I had. Again, I'm biased, but I think paraprofessionals are pretty vital, pretty important. I've been here forever, so I feel like I have a definitely important role to play. But it's also from the head down, from the principal to the administration to our lead teachers in PE. I've always felt really supported and encouraged, and valued. So I think it's important for all of us to have those experiences. So thanks for listening.
Great. Does anyone have questions today?
Sounds like you have it all together. Sounds like
It's all together.
yeah. Well, it's funny. I have BSU kids that come in, and so I have a class or I have a mainstream. The kids come in or inclusion or whatever, and a lot of times those people think that like you said, it's like a break or something. And I said, now if they need help with doing this, or if I'm showing somebody else this, then you need to be showing that to those people. And it's not, well, yeah, I didn't say it's not a break, but yeah, you're involved just like me, like you're doing it just like I am.
That's
so
nice.
I get that when you were saying that and being part of it, because yeah, it's very important. And I have kids that were not seen by the APE teacher all the time. And of course, I'm always helping them. And we had a new guy that was at that AP position. And when he came on, he just let me keep helping the kids. And I go, or the particular ones that he was supposed to be helping.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I have to help all the other kids. I go, your job is to help that particular one. I
Right.
said, so follow my lead on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that was the teacher.